Today we're taking a look at these college basketball matches, which are happening on Friday, March 10, 2023, and giving you our team and total picks for today. Welcome back to High Stakes. Before we dive into our video, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and make sure to watch it till the end so you don't miss any of our picks. Also check out our Patreon if you want to access our premium picks. Our Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. You will find the link in description and comments section below. One more thing before we start, check out our new channel High Stakes Props and Parlays, where you can find our player props and parlay picks predictions. You will find the link in the description and comment section below. Connecticut versus Marquette. These two powerhouses split 2 games this season, with both winning at home. But in the last game these two teams played in February, at UConn, the Huskies won handily 87-72. They held the high-scoring Golden Eagles to just 72 points, and we saw the Red Storm hold Marquette to just 61 points in regulation. St. John's took advantage of its size, and UConn will do the same in this one, as the Huskies are one of the best rebounding teams in the nation while Marquette is one of the worst. Plus, this is basically a home game for UConn, which is just up the road a bit. Take the red-hot Huskies to cover. Both of the programs have been doing extremely well at getting to the free throw line, as UConn is attempting 19.5 free throws per game while Marquette is shooting 16.7 shots from the charity stripe per game thus far. These teams are pushing the pace this year, as the Huskies are 143rd in the nation with 70.9 possessions per game, while the Golden Eagles are sitting at 71st in the sport with 72.3 possessions per game right now. All in all, go with the over, as it seems to be the better option. Penn State versus Northwestern. Penn State is coming into the game with momentum and has drawn a great matchup for the quarterfinals. Northwestern is the 2 seed, but they are not overwhelmingly strong. The 3 seed Indiana is ranked higher nationally and is projected to be a higher NCAA seed. Penn State will take advantage of this Northwestern team, as the Nittany Lions have been shooting the ball extremely well and the whole team plays off Jalen Pickett's action. The guards of Penn State are stronger and better shooters than Northwestern's backcourt. Penn State won the only matchup between these teams this season, and can pull it off again. Penn State is not guaranteed a spot in the NCAA tournament, but a win here would all but lock up their at-large bid. Penn State is more motivated and will cause headaches for the Wildcats all game long. Take Penn State to cover. Pickett has had an incredible season for Penn State. The 6 feet 4 inches senior averages 18.0 ppg, 7.3 rpg, and 7.0 apg. He is one of the best players in the conference and can take over games in multiple ways. Pickett only had 12 points against Illinois, but he grabbed 8 rebounds and dished out 8 assists in the win. Andrew Funk and Seth Lundy were first and second in the conference and made threes this season. Lundy is their second leading scorer with 14.0 ppg, and Funk adds 12.0 ppg. Both players play off Pickett well, as he can draw in defenses and create open looks for the shooters. Our total pick is over. Duke versus Miami, FL. The team split 2 meetings this season, with each team winning at home. Miami walloped Duke at home in their previous contest, prevailing by 22 points. Duke has won 7 straight games as they have turned things around after a slow start on the offensive end of the floor. The Blue Devils are going to be tested defensively by an explosive Miami offensive unit. Miami does have plenty of experience to build around, and they are facing a Duke team that is rather lacking in that department. The Blue Devils have played well of late, but Miami has the ability to outgun teams almost at will. Give the Hurricanes the slight advantage as they punch their ticket to the title game. Our team pick is Miami Hurricanes plus 3.5 points. Miami won their 2nd straight and their 9th in the last 10 games, as they held off a late charge from Wake Forest in the quarterfinals to advance. The Hurricanes entered this game 25-6 overall, and they were 15-5 in the regular season in the ACC. Against Wake Forest, Miami led by as many as 7 in the opening half and by 5 at intermission. The Hurricanes extended their lead to 61-43 with 9:51 to play in the second half, but nearly let it slip away. Miami was up 15 with 5:42 to go and by 8 with just over a minute to go, only to see Wake Forest get hot from the perimeter. The lead was down to 2 with 2 seconds remaining, but the Hurricanes held on for the win. Miami shot 52.5% from the field, including 6 of 19 from three-point range, and limited Wake Forest to 40.9% from the floor. Jordan Miller led the Hurricanes with 18 points, 9 rebounds and 5 assists in the game. Our total pick is over the total. UCF versus Memphis. These two split their 2-game regular season series straight up, but the Knights went 2-0 ATS versus Memphis this season. The Tigers stole a 1-point victory when they last played, and UCF went to overtime to get theirs. Over those 2 games, Memphis shot a combined 52.2% overall and UCF shot just 37.4%. So even if the Tigers are shooting very well and the Knights are shooting terribly, these games managed to remain very close in the end. Both of those games were also sloppy, with the teams averaging a combined 35.5 turnovers per game, with Memphis coughing up a whopping 24 the last time they played. UCF is shooting the ball much better since they last met, and the 61.5% second half shooting they had on Thursday will hopefully seep right into the start of this game for them. Take the Knights plus 4 points. In regulation play, these teams have combined to average 141.5 points per game, splitting against the total, with the most recent matchup going under by 22 points. Over their last 5 apiece, their combined average is 147.6 points per game, so they've been putting up points of late. Over their last 6 games, the Knights are averaging 24.3 field goals, with that average bumping up to 28.5 per game over their last 2. The Tigers have hit 25.6 field goals per game over their last 5 and 28.6 over their last 10, with 5 games of 30 or more field goals. Memphis has scored 76 or more in 3 of their last 4, and UCF has scored 75 or more in 3 of their last 5 and averaged 80 points in their last 2. The over is 3-1 in their last 4 matchups. Take the over 142.5 points. Iowa State versus Kansas. Kansas looked very strong in its quarterfinals victory over West Virginia, gradually pulling away after leading by 8 points at the break and eventually winning by 17. Kansas easily covered as 3-point favorites. Kansas struggled at times against Iowa State this season, losing its most recent meeting with the Cyclones 68-53, but that was played at Iowa State, while Kansas won at home 62-60. However, Kansas has won 8 of its last 9 with only a loss to Texas, and has covered the spread in 6 of those 9. Iowa State has covered the spread in only 2 of its last 6. Kansas has covered the spread in 5 of its last 7 when playing as the favorite. Both teams know one another very well, as this will be the 3rd meeting of the season between the two, and both can play a solid defense, evidenced by Kansas allowing just 61 points on Thursday. Look for Kansas to pull away late and cover the number over the final 5 minutes of regulation. Our team pick is Kansas Jayhawks. The total has finished under in 4 of Kansas' last 6 and in 7 of Iowa State's last 8. The total has also finished under in 5 of Iowa State's last 6 when playing against an opponent from the Big 12 Conference. Iowa State's defense allowed an average of only 62.4 points per game during the regular season, while Kansas held opponents to an average of just 68.2 points per game. In the 2 games played head-to-head between the 2 Big 12 rivals, the total finished under in both. Oregon versus UCLA. Oregon nearly blew a 19-point lead against Washington State before rallying to earn the win Thursday. The Ducks won't be as fortunate against a UCLA team that already beat them twice this season. Losing Clark is a big blow for UCLA, but Bailey stepped up and carried the team against Colorado Thursday. It won't be easy for the Bruins, but they are extremely tough on the defensive end of the floor. That could make it daunting for Oregon to find good shots on the offensive end of the floor. Seeing how the Bruins own 2 wins over the Ducks already, and they show their grit by taking control of the game against Colorado in the final 5 minutes, you have to give them the upper hand here. Our team pick is UCLA Bruins minus 6.5 points. The last meeting between these two saw a grand total of 133 points scored between them. Earlier in the season, they combined to score just 121 points. Both of these defenses can lock things down and keep scoring at a minimum. The Bruins, who have one of the best scoring defenses in the nation, allowing just 60.4 points per game, allowed under 70 points to be scored against them in 10 of their last 12 games. The Ducks are only giving up 66.8 points per game and have held 3 of their last 5 opponents to scoring 68 or fewer points. Ken Palm rates both teams low in tempo, with Oregon checking in at 236th and UCLA at 224th. The under is 3-0 in the last 3 meetings between these schools. Take the under 134.5 points. Cal State Fullerton versus UC Irvine. When looking into Ken Palm's adjusted efficiency margin, there is a bit of a difference between these programs. The Titans are 116th in college basketball with A+ 4.69 rating, while the Anteaters are sitting at 96th in the nation with A+ 7.54 rating thus far. Being able to connect from three is critical to success, and there is a slight difference here as Cal State Fullerton is currently 55th in the country with a 36.43 point percentage, while UC Irvine is 34th with a 37% as a team from beyond the arc. All in all, go with the UC Irvine Anteaters to take care of business and cover the spread. Our team pick is UC Irvine Anteaters. These teams are playing at a slower pace than most teams, as the Anteaters are 131st with 81.2 possessions per game, while the Titans are sitting at 248th with just 68.7 possessions per game right now. Both programs have been doing well on the defensive side of the floor, as Cal State Fullerton is 74th in the sport with a 42.2 opposing field goal percentage, while UC Irvine is all the way up at 12th in the nation with a 39.8 field goal percentage against this year. The under has hit in 4 of the last 5 Titans games played on Friday, as well as in the previous 7 Anteaters games against teams with a winning record, so go with the under here. Wichita State versus Tulane. These two are very familiar with each other, having played just 2 weeks ago. In that game it was the Shockers on the straight-up win and the win ATS as +6 underdogs. Wichita State has a pack of seniors that aren't ready to hang it up just yet and have been playing as such. Their last 2 games, both wins, had an average margin of victory of 19 points per game. Wichita State is shooting 53.6% over their last 5 games, and Tulane is one of the worst teams in the league at defending the shot. The Shockers are 4-0 ATS in their last 4 games and 5-1 ATS over their last 6. Tulane has gone 0-5 ATS in their last 5 games, 4 of those as favorites. The underdogs is 4-0 in the last 4 meetings. Take the Shockers. In their last meeting they put up a combined 159 points. They've averaged a combined 148.8 points per game over their last 5 apiece, respectively. Tulane ranks 3rd in Ken Palm's tempo ratings, so they will fly if given the open space, and Wichita State ranks 231st, but they will go toe-to-toe in a scoring battle. The Shockers have scored at least 78 points in 5 of their last 7 games, and the Green Wave have put up 76 or more in 6 of their last 8 games, including 80+ in each of their last 2. Tulane has shot over 47% in their last 5 games, while the Shockers shot 53.6% over their last 5. These teams are rolling on the offense end of the court. The over is 6-2 in the last 8 meetings between these two. The over is also 9-1 in the Shockers' last 10 games and 7-3 in the Green Wave's last 10. Take the over.